Am I the asshole for not changing how I live for my stepson's Jeff? My stepson Ben is living with us right now during summer break from college. About a month ago, he asked if his Jiff from college, Liv, could stay with us the rest of the summer because she is going through a rough time at home. I wasn't fully on board with the idea because we already have our two other kids, 11 and 9, in the house, and have 4 adults and 2 kids. And have 4 adults and 2 kids in our space is a lot. Whatever. My wife has a soft spot for Ben and struggles to say no to him. Well, that's because he's just a stepson to you. So my concerns were dismissed, and now Liv is living with us until they go back to school. There have been a few issues that have come up since Liv came, pretty much all of which have to do with me. You know, my mom and my stepdad just be letting people into the house. I know because of where we came up, like we've had friends, they've gone through some hard times, you know? That's kind of what happens when you're broke. You just go through hard times and you try your best to not become a bad person because of the hard times. But my mom, oh my God, there's a lot of people in my family that would let some crazy ass people into their house. This isn't quite the same situation, I'm assuming, because she's, young. She's trying to stay out of trouble. But man. Anyways, first, one of the big reasons Liv wanted to change her living situation is because her parents are alcoholics. Now, I don't drink every day, but I do have alcohol in the house, and I like to imbibe. Who says imbibe, man? With a meal sometimes, or have a few cocktails on weekends. This is triggering for Liv to see a parent drinking with kids around. Second, Liv, do we know? Is it really triggering for them to see you drinking like that? Is that how that works? I couldn't know. I don't know. I feel like because my dad was an alcoholic, and I don't know, man. I tune that shit out. Not everyone can do that, though. I know that. It's just... And I drink now. I definitely don't have the same issues with drinking that my dad did. You know what I mean? I don't get aggressive. I don't rob people, Not violent. What are we talking about? Second, Liv is vegan. We eat a lot of meat in our house. Pretty much every meal has meat involved. I also hunt, so we eat meat that I've harvested. And I have a few mounts on the walls. This makes Liv especially uncomfortable. I mean, does it make her more uncomfortable than hanging out with her shitty parents? Because that's kind of, Ben and Liv sat down with my wife and I this past weekend and offered some suggestions to help make Liv's time here easier. Their first suggestion was that if I want to drink, I should do it in private and not around the kids. I tried to interject when they suggested this, but they asked to let them finish before saying anything. Oh, God. Slowly, the more we go along, the more I'm like, hey, man, it is your house. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to be like, man, like, what the I don't know. Because now they're about to throw out, like, vegan meals. Their next suggestion was to allow Liv to cook vegan meals for us so that we didn't eat so much meat all the time. She offered to do grocery shopping and meal planning to help provide vegan meals for us instead of our usual meals. Finally, they asked if I could remove the mounts from the walls of the house until they go back to school in 6 weeks. This is when I'm like, taking them off the wall is not going to bring the animal back to life. It's already gone. I don't know, man. You vegans, sometimes I wonder how you function. Like, if you're driving down the street and you see roadkill, do you just, like, have to stop and cry for 30 minutes? I don't know. What are the rules here? Because I understand you don't want to eat meat. And I think, honestly, if you want to implement some vegan meals, but you're not expecting them to go, like, full-on vegan, I think that's fair enough. Maybe, like, I don't think there's good vegan meals. But if you're like, no, every meal needs to be vegan, take down this. No drinking. And it's like, oh my God. I mean, I wouldn't want to drink around the kids in general anyways, because but like, it's, I don't know. When they finished, I asked if it was okay for me to talk now, and they said yes. I told them that my answer to all of their suggestions is no. I told them that I appreciate Liv's offer to cook for us, and she is free to cook a few vegan meals for us during the week if she wants, but we are not going to completely change our diets for one person. But as far as their other suggestions, not happening. I mean, they came to you with some suggestions, and you, as a person that I'm assuming owns the house and pays for the roof over the head, you have some input, but I'm sure there'll be some Redditors to call you a dictator, maybe. My wife spoke up and said that maybe it wouldn't hurt to try their suggestions for a little bit and see how things go. She said it's only 6 weeks and that changing our lifestyles is a little bit for a short period wouldn't kill us. I mean, that's true. I told all three of them that if they want to change the way they live, they are free to do so, but they are not going to force me to change the way I live in my own home for a temporary guest. I told them if that means I cook separate meals for myself, so be it. But the amounts stay, and if I want a beer or a glass of wine, I'm going to have one. All three of them think I'm being unreasonable and that they aren't asking too much of me for a short period of time. Listen, as a man, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that sometimes, man, we really just want to be left alone. Like, when he says, you guys want to change it? Fine. I'm going to have my beer. I'll cook separate meals for me. I'm fine with you guys cooking whatever. Like, he's saying, I'll cook. I don't care. Nobody needs to cook for me. He just wants to be left alone. Although maybe not, because he didn't want to drink in front of people. Not the asshole. This is a great lesson to them that you cannot always control the world around you. And you certainly cannot control other people. She is lucky to be a guest, and guests should never make the kind of ass she is making. It is not polite or respectful. If your lifestyle is so hard for her, then your home is not the safe place she needs and should make other arrangements. I mean, I agree with that. My wife has never made any suggestions like this before, but like I said, she has a soft spot for Ben. Wants her to be a cool mom. I don't drink often. Some weeks I will drink 2 to 3 days. Sometimes I will go 1 to 2 weeks without a sip. But I have it in the house, and if the mood strikes where I want to pair a drink with a meal, I'll do it. Hey, man, same. I mean, we already know that I don't really consider that. Like, it started off with like, oh, maybe you could make, you could kind of meet up with them. But then, as we started to like explain and go further, it's like, it is his house, which is interesting. It's interesting to see that the top comment is saying he's not the asshole, but the other one about changing the brightness of the TV caused an uproar and caused people to like disagree. Not the asshole, although I suspect that your wife has been wanting those walk mounts down herself for a bit. Laura, this is not food. This is what food eats. The 14-pointer is hers. Oh my God, dude. So one of them is hers. I don't know. Very interesting. Buddy, this is some millennial nonsense. Tell Liv to go find a commune where they do that shit. And take a stepson. This is millennial. No, this is Zoomer nonsense. The millennials are like 30 now, right? So this is potential Zoomer. This is Zoomers, baby. I'm so tired of hearing trigger, trauma, and boundaries. How do people even walk down the street without getting offended? Hey, man, brother. Liv is a vegan. There's the problem right there. You're telling me you didn't expect a Gen Z vegan to not tell you how you're offending her on the daily. See, Gen Z, like this person said, she doesn't like it. She can find a nice apartment on her own because a 20-year-old is an adult fully capable of providing for herself. That might sound harsh, but I moved out when I was 17, so I have no comment. Not surprised Liv had some troubles at home. She is apparently the common denominator. I honestly would be more concerned by your wife's ability to just throw you to the wolves without talking to you privately. Time to assert dominance. Not the asshole. Where is she sleeping? With stepson in the same bed? I would bring up the fact that they should not be sleeping together unmarried in the presence of younger children. Just a suggestion. I mean, it depends, I get. Like, it depends on how much you care as a parent about the whole premarital thing. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear my son getting railed in the room over, like, can you, come on, guys. Like, plus, if I'm a kid, there's a reason why I moved out at 17, like, immediately. And it's because, when you have a girl over, no one's asking questions. I mean, if you have nosy roommates, maybe, but, like, your roommates would be cool. This triggering concept is bullshit. This generation is exhausting. This is the youth now. I mean, no, you're not the asshole here. It sounds like she has a very aggressive situation going on at her house, but based on she's kind of talking about it, it kind of seems like aggressive for her. Her parents could just be drinking like you are. I don't know. I wonder if the parents really are alcoholics. I could be wrong. It kind of seems like she immediately moved in and created like multiple problems for herself. It kind of makes me wonder how much she's really struggling at home. But that's me assuming things. We're here to just talk about you. You're not the asshole, man.